but it's the Gregorian year of 2023. The UFC has made that milestone of 30 years. Congratulations, much a success. Stars have been created. And everything in between, the good, the bad, the ugly, monopolization of the industry. Um, all of the good stuff, bad, the ugly, and the indifference. So successful, sold for how much billions, floated on the stock exchange. So quite a successful, we would say. Outside of as I've highlighted, the fighter element of it in regards to healthcare and actually be treated like an employee versus an alleged contractor. Because when you contract for someone, you are given a basic understanding, a description of what your services or duties are to be, and you are given a sum. You're not potentially told to wear potential uniforms and XYZ and sign up to codes of conduct, etc. But that is indeed another topic in itself. Power Slap League is in this here. Mm-hmm. The Fertitas and Mr. Dana White are thinking to themselves, potentially, what can we do next? What can we create another brand, another offshoot, totally separate to the UFC, which we can indeed, in less than 30 years' time, sell. We can sell this product, this idea, and then obviously potentially have that floated on the on the stock exchange and stuff. So I do see the motivation. I'm just totally dismayed, as many others are, of them picking and deciding on, okay, let's get men, and there's obviously women who do this, to stand up face to face and take turns in slapping themselves as hard as possible. And let's try and let's make this into some kind of regulated sports, and let's get a commission to actually sign off on this. Who signed off on this? Nevada gave this a license? Huh? With all the stuff that's going on, with all of the stuff that is going on outside of the, domestic abuse thing, forget that. Let's talk about the effects of getting mollywopped multiple times. I haven't even watched the. Let's get into it. Let's get into what's Dana got to say. Look at this. Yeah, road to the title.
A few years ago, I started watching some videos on social media and online of guys slapping, and I was into it immediately.
Yeah, like in my younger days, I've watched a few questionable videos online and I thought, entertaining, interesting, intriguing, you know. Uh, Never thought of maybe trying to monetize. I mean, look at this. So, bum fights, who remembers bum fights? Where they were paying and there was some kind of controversy whether some of them were actually real or not or whatever. But they were paying homeless people to have fights and they were selling them as DVDs. Huh? I don't see many different parallels outside of these people that are clearly not homeless. And they're not even fighting, they're just slapping themselves in the face. There's no defense. I mean, oh, there's a technique to it. There's a technique to throw the slaps, and there's a technique to break, to roll with the slap and all this stupid stuff. CTE is real. Any full contact sport, we know the thing. We already know this. But the difference is with combat sports, mixed martial arts, boxing, there is defensive, there's offensive. This is what it is. Yeah. The rules, the global rule set, or the 10-point must system isn't, you're not allowed to use defensive maneuvers at all. You cannot pivot or anything. You are just to strike, and that is it. There's nothing like that. There is nothing like that. This is savagery at its best for some people. I question this. I question when I first heard this little, yeah, I've been seeing these videos and it's kind of I wasn't luckily that stupid stuff wasn't coming across my feed. Okay. Look at this.
What I'm looking for are the best slap fighters in the world to come in and join Power Slap. And they'll be competing for a spot in the first pay-per-view, and they'll also be fighting to be ranked. So for the coaches, we brought in the 2 best guys in the world. 2, 3, oh! Darius the Destroyer is a heavyweight champion from Missouri, and this dude has never lost a fight.
No! He's never lost a fight. That's not fighting. That's folly. And no disrespect to them. I mean, could you call them? I guess you can call them athletes with air quotes because they're in a quote unquote sanctioned slapping competition, but they're not fighters. No fighting is taking place. Let's get it right.
Rocky Moore is unconscious. Darius the Destroyer with a big knockout.
So the Wolverine's name is Ron, and he's a former MMA fighter turned slap fighter.
Another big shot from Wolverine. Oh, my.
This guy's got incredible power and toughness.
Oh!
And his only losses have been to the Destroyer. Their most recent fight was an epic 27-rounder that was eventually called in favor of Darius, and is considered by most people
27 rounds. Look, this is ridiculous. TBS, what the hell are you doing? I know you're hunting for content, as most providers or purveyors of content, not just in the digital space, but these old dying legacy media outlets, these cable providers and stuff. They need as much content as possible, and they ain't going out into no studio and doing no sitcoms and nothing like that. They want, this reality TV stuff, which has invaded the world over the last, should we say, what, 15, 20 years? Let's get some kind of sporting element onto it. I get it. I totally get it, but this is dangerous. This is very, very, very dangerous. Let me see if I can find some more. This is...
ever.
Let's see what else. Let's see what else we got to say. Hey, Ralph.
That dude just nuts. The one-eyed wolf could not get medically cleared, so Ryan...
Yeah, no. He'd have been better off maybe just doing something called like the Legends League, where he gets, these old school fighters, getting close to the time where, they want to ride off into the sunset. Get them all out of the UFC, create that specific thing, which is still mixed martial arts, but for the old school guys, there's plenty of them who are still want to compete. Do something like that. Yeah. I'm sure I heard some stuff about, yeah, we're going to take care of them medically wise and whatever while they're competing. What about after them? About 3 years later, 10 years later, they've got medical insurance that's going to cover them for their CTE and all of the problems they're going to have after that. I would imagine they're going to have perforated eardrums, broken jaws, ruptured, orbitals, all kind of stuff, broken cheekbones, all kind of madness, man, fractures. This isn't a good look.
And Phillips is going straight into the house.
Not a good look at all. It really ain't.
Vicious. Yeah. Vicious.
Jewel Kid time here.
This is. I have no interest. No interest. This is mad. No, I'm not gonna play any more of this. I'm really not. But I did see a highlight of a young lady getting slapped to the floor, trying to get up, and then doing like a forward gamble. Like the optics, this also puts a huge. The last thing I'm gonna say on this puts a huge like tarnish over the UFC specifically, not mixed martial arts. Yeah, and this is more for the casuals. Like this isn't good. This is not good at all, man. This can't last. And a pay-per-view. Who on earth's gonna buy this pay-per-view? And why on earth are people on Twitter and Instagram saying that this is cool? Like seasoned MMA connoisseurs are like, I'll take it. I'll take any form of competition, especially if Dana White's producing it. I don't know about that, man. Highly questionable. Give me your thoughts. Madness. .com.